Welcome to Learning Radius. Welcome to Learning Radius Current Affairs 2020. In this video, we'll be discussing another 10 topics related to environment and ecology. The 10 topics of discussions are two new species of ants discovered from Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Sundarbans home to 428 species of birds recorded ZSI, that is Zoological Survey of India, Climate Adaptation Summit 2021, new species of red algae seen in West Southeast Indian coast, National Clean Air Program NCAP, World Meteorological Data Celebrations and Inauguration of Climate, India's first interstate tiger relocation project, Buldana pattern for water conservation, World Sparrow Day, and New Saga 1 scheme. So the 10 topics of discussions are New Nagar 1 scheme, World Sparrow Day, Buldana pattern for water conservation, India's first interstate tiger relocation project, World Meteorological Day celebrations and inauguration of climate, National Clean Air Program, new species of red algae seen in West Southeast Indian coast, Climate Adaptation Summit 2021, Sundarbans home to 428 species of birds records Zoological Survey of India, and two new species of ants discovered from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The first topic of discussion is two new species of ants discovered from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Two new species of rare ants genus have been discovered in Kerala and Tamil Nadu by a team of scientists. One of the two species found in the Periyar Tiger Reserve of Kerala has been named Asireshe Joshi in honor of Professor Amitabh Joshi, a distinguished evolutionary biologist from Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Science Research. The other named Asiraya Dicamera refers to the 10-segmented antennal count, was discovered from the Alarkoil in Madurai. So, two locations are in discussion related to this species. So, new species, as like I mentioned, one is Usarai Joshi in honor of Professor Amitabh Joshi, the name as it is. Second one is Usarai Dicamera. So that is Dicamera refers to the 10-segmented antennal count. So two ants is in discussion. At the same time, two locations as it is in discussion. And first location is Periyar Tiger Reserve of Kerala, and second one is Alagarkoil in Madurai, that is in Tamil Nadu. So the discovery has been published in the journal Zookeys. The genus is currently represented by 14 species, of which 8 possess 9-segmented antennae, while 5 possess 11-segmented antennae, and one species has currently been reported with 8-segmented antennae. So that is the discussion. The species of the ant genus Usarai found in Kerala and Tamil Nadu add to the diversity of this rare genus. They differ from others of the same genus on the basis of the number of antennal segment. So three possibilities of getting question. One, they can ask in connection with the ant genus as such, as like they asked about elephants and all before. At the same time, the another point is the direct GK related to these two species. And the third one, Periyar Tiger Reserve of Kerala as such is in discussion. At the same time, Alagarkoil Madurai as such is in discussion. So UPSC can ask related question right from Periyar Tiger Reserve of Kerala or Alagarkoil in Tamil Nadu, that is in Madurai. Next discussion is Sundarban home to 428 species of birds records Zoological Survey of India. According to a recent publication, Bird of the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve of the Zoological Survey of India states Indian Sundarban, which is part of largest mangrove forest in the world, is home to 428 species of birds. The publication serves as comprehensive photographic field guide with detailed distribution and locality data for all the species from the region. The publication has been compiled by 3 scientists: Kailash Chandra, Director, Zoological Survey of India; Gopinath Maheshwaran, Head of the Bird Section of the Zoological Survey of India; and Amitabha Majumdar. So here, the most important point of discussion is mangrove forest itself, that is Sundarban. So Sundarban, which is part of the largest mangrove forest in the world, is home to 428 species of birds. So its biodiversity as such is the discussion. At the same time, the recent publication Bird of the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve of the Zoological Survey of India is making Sundarban into discussion. So as an aspirant, you should have clarity regarding the Sundarban as such. The Indian Sundarban, which covers 4,200 square kilometer, comprised of the Sundarban Tiger Reserve, of 2,585 square kilometer, home to about 96 Royal Bengal tigers. So it is very significant location. It is also a World Heritage Site and a Ramsar site. The area is home to 9 out of 12 species of kingfishers found in the country, as well rare species such as Goliath heron and spoon-billed sandpiper. So that is about the Sundarban, and Sundarban is having high biodiversity and 428 species of birds as it is recorded by Zoological Survey of India. So as an aspirant, you should have an idea about Sundarban, at the same time the characteristic features of mangrove forest too. Next topic of discussion is Climate Adaptation Summit 2021. The Netherlands government hosted an online International Climate Adaptation Summit on 25th January 2021. The summit will have a significant focus on securing new investment to ensure that millions of smallholder farmers can adapt to the stresses of climate and food production. The summit organizers have called for major new funding for agriculture research, expanded access to farmer advisory services, as well as expanded access to risk management and financial services. Join UNFSS at this event. So the Netherlands government hosted an online International Climate Adaptation Summit on 25th January as it is in discussion. And during the summit, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, said we are targeting 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. We are promoting LED light and saving 38 million tons of carbon dioxide emission annually. We are going to restore 36 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. We are providing clean cooking fuel to 80 million rural households. We are connecting 64 million households to piped water supply. So according to the Prime Minister, he mentioned this by 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030, LED lights and saving 38 million tons of carbon dioxide emission annually, restoring 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030, and clean cooking fuel to 80 million rural household, and connecting 64 million household to piped water supply. Next point of discussion is new species of red algae seen in the west southeast Indian coast. Two new species of the seaweed have been discovered by a group of marine biologists from Central University of Punjab, Batinda, named Hypnea indica after India, and Hypnea bullata because of the blister-like marks on its body bullae. The seaweeds are part of the genus Hypnea or red seaweeds. So the name as it is Hypnea indica and Hypnea bullata. They grow in the intertidal regions of the coast, namely the area that is submerged during the high tide and exposed during low tides. So that is related to new species of red algae seen in the west southeast Indian coast. And algae as an organism should be clear in your mind, and the fundamental characteristic features of algae. At the same time, here two algae such as in discussion, as like I mentioned, Hypnea indica and Hypnea bullata. The discovery was recorded in the journal Botanica Marina. The genus Hypnea consists of calcareous, erect, branched red seaweeds. There are 61 species, of which 10 were reported in India. With two new species, the total number of species now would be 63. Next discussion is National Clean Air Program, NCAP. A memorandum of understanding was signed by representatives of State Pollution Control Board, urban local bodies, and Institute of Repute for 132 identified cities for implementation of city-specific action plans under National Clean Air Program. Say a MOU, that is a memorandum of understanding, was signed by representatives of State Pollution Control Boards, urban local bodies, and Institute of Repute for 132 identified cities for implementation of city-specific action plan under National Clean Air Program. The National Clean Air Program is a long-term, time-bound, national-level strategy to tackle air pollution problem across the country in a comprehensive manner, with target to achieve 20% to 30% reduction in particulate matter concentration by 2024. So here, National Clean Air Program is in discussion. Above all, 132 identified cities for implementation of city-specific action plans. So the city-specific action plan as it is coming under National Clean Air Program. So National Clean Air Program, the fundamentals should be clear. At the same time, why that particular NCAP came into discussion. A memorandum of understanding was signed by representatives of State Pollution Control Board, urban local bodies, and Institute of Repute for 132 identified cities for implementation of city-specific action plan under National Clean Air Program. And the National Clean Air Program is a long-term, time-bound, national-level strategy to tackle air pollution problem across the country in a comprehensive manner, with targets to achieve 20% to 30% reduction in particulate matter concentration by 2024. The city action plan have been prepared to control specific air pollution sources through multi-dimensional action by bringing several implementation agencies together, expansion of ambient air quality network, source apportionment studies, public awareness, grievance redressal mechanism, and sector-specific action points are part of this action plan. So the most important point of discussion is what is National Clean Air Program and what is the basic objective of National Clean Air Program is very significant. Next is World Meteorological Data Celebration and Inauguration of Climate. India Meteorological Department celebrated World Meteorological Day Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on 23rd March 2021. That was the discussion. So India Meteorological Department celebrated World Meteorological Day Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on 23rd March 2021. Dr. M. Rajivan, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Science and Chief Guest of this function, inaugurated Climate Data Service Portal of IMD on this occasion. So the point is Climate Data Service Portal. So what is Climate Data Service Portal? There should be clarity related to IMD. He also released standard operation procedures and brochures of IMD in presence of Dr. M. Mohapatra, DGM, in an online event. Salient features of the Climate Data Services Portal SOP and brochures are follows. So this Climate Data Service Portal has been developed by IMD Pune with user-friendly platforms for climate data management and supply to the users. It complements fully automated climate data management process from real-time data acquisition to expeditious data dissemination. The web portal will be available through IMD website and IMD Pune website. So this is what about Climate Data Service Portal, and there should be clarity regarding this particular portal, that is Climate Data Service Portal, at the same time standard operation procedures. So standard operation procedure considering consequential influence, high impact of severe weather events on various socio-economic activities, standard operation procedures for monitoring, forecasting and warning services of these severe weather events are very much essential. So that is about standard operation procedure considering consequential influence, high impact of severe weather event on various socio-economic activities. Standard operation procedures for monitoring, forecasting and warning services of these severe weather events are very much essential. For real-time monitoring, forecasting and warning services, the standard operation procedures are followed by IMD. Considering the recent development in tools and technology, IMD has brought out updated SOPs to provide uniform monitoring of weather, especially disastrous weather events. Next is India's first interstate tiger relocation project. The 5-year-old tigress Sundari shifted as part of India's first interstate translocation project in 2018 from Madhya Pradesh to Odisha, returned home after spending 28 months in captivity in Satkosia Tiger Reserve, Odisha, as the two states lingered on the process of her relocation despite the National Tiger Conservation Authority shelving of the much wanted interstate tiger translocation drive. So Satkosia Tiger Reserve and Sundari was triangularized and caged before being relocated to Madhya Pradesh. So India's first interstate tiger relocation project. So that is in discussion. So Sundari as such is in discussion. At the same time, Satkosia Tiger Reserve Odisha is also into discussion. The tiger relocation project was initiated in 2018, wherein two big cats, a male Mahavir from Kanna Tiger Reserve and a female Sundari from Badwagar from Madhya Pradesh, were relocated to Satkosia Tiger Reserve in Odisha. To shore up the tiger population in the state, Sundari was brought to Satkosia a week after Mahavir's arrival. So here, three locations are in discussion. One is Kanna Tiger Reserve, at the same time Bandwagar from Madhya Pradesh. At the same time, the third one is Satkosia Tiger Reserve, that is in Odisha. The relocation was meant to serve two purposes: reducing tiger population in areas with excess tigers to majorly reduce territorial disputes. Second, to reintroduce tigers in areas where the population has considerably reduced due to various reasons. The project was initiated with a budget of 19 crore and was started under the project augmentation and recovery of tiger population in Satkosia Tiger Reserve. So most important location in the entire discussion is Satkosia Tiger Reserve. Next, Satkosia Tiger Reserve, encompassing an area of 963 square kilometer. Satkosia Tiger Reserve spread across 4 districts and has its core area 523 square kilometer. According to National Tiger Conservation Authority, Satkosia falls under reserves where there is a potential for increasing tiger population. Declared as a tiger reserve in 2007, Satkosia had a population of 12 tigers then. The numbers reduced to 2 in 2018. So that's about Satkosia Tiger Reserve. Next is Buldana pattern for water conservation. Niti Aayog has prepared draft guidelines for convergence of the activities of sourcing earth for improvement, construction of national highways, state roads and railways, water conservation work through desalination, deepening of water bodies. This twofold activity has already been successfully implemented as a pilot project in the Buldana district of Maharashtra state. So, Buldana district of Maharashtra state as such is in discussion in related to water conservation. So, Niti Aayog has prepared draft guidelines for convergence of the activities of sourcing earth for improvement, construction of national highways, state roads and railways, water conservation work through water conservation work through desiltation. Once again, is not desalination, it is water conservation work through desiltation. So, water conservation work through desiltation, deepening of water body. So, this twofold activity has already been successfully implemented as pilot project in Buldana district of Maharashtra. So this two, as like I mentioned, the first one, sourcing earth for improvement or construction of national highways, state roads and railways. Second one, water conservation work through desiltation or deepening of water bodies. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India has also issued a letter to all states or UTs and project construction agencies in 2017 conveying that contractors, construction agencies responsible for construction of national highways should excavate the earth as per their project requirement from such identified water bodies areas at no cost to the village panchayat or rural development departments, water conservation department, and transport the same to their project sites. So here Niti Aayog has prepared the draft guidelines Niti Aayog has prepared draft guidelines for convergence of the activities, that is the discussion about, and that is basically for water conservation. Next is a basic GK World Sparrow Day. Every year March 20 is observed as World Sparrow Day to raise awareness about the bird. The need for making this day was felt due to the tremendous decrease in its population. The house sparrow is on the verge of extinction. The initiative was started by Natural Forever Society of India, founded by Muhammad Dilawar, an Indian conservationist. So that is basically related to World Sparrow Day. And the final topic of discussion is New Nagar One scheme. Union Environment and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that the new Nagar One scheme will help in creation of urban forest in the cities. So UPSC can ask statement related question, or they can ask out of the following statement which all are right in connection with new Nagar One scheme. So here Union Environment and Information Broadcasting Minister Shri Prakash Javadekar has said that the new Nagar One scheme will help in creation of urban forest in the cities. The scheme will also fill the gap between the cities and villages in terms of having their own forest cover. Under the Nagar One scheme, urban forest will be developed in 200 cities in its first phase. So that is a most important thing. Under the Nagar One scheme, urban forest will be developed in 200 cities in the first phase. The minister also called upon people and organizations to create a mass movement towards conservation of forest and revival of our rivers. He also added that to reduce animal-human conflicts, water and fodder in forest program has been initiated. One forest in every state will be selected under this program, and with the help of drone mapping, water conservation and tree plantation will be taken up. So here it is about new Nagar One scheme, and that is to create urban forest in the cities. So that's all about the 10 topics related to environment ecology. In the next video, we'll be discussing another 10 topics, and environment ecology is very crucial for UPSC preliminary examination. And don't skip the analysis video. Understand the analysis video, and then you will get a clarity how UPSC frame questions from current affairs in environment ecology and in UPSC preliminary examination. At the same time, work out the premium preliminary question papers and get an edge in your overall preparation. So that's all for now. Have a great time. Calm version is the most productive version, and meet you in the next video. Thank you.